I apologize, but Moogie Moo Moo doesn't have a pair of pants on. So he's butt naked from the buff, so he's totally bottomless. Hi Moogie Moo Moo. It's Moogie Moo Moo. Well, anyways, it's still the ninth day of April 2016. It's already after dark, and I have watched some kitty cartoons and the like. Including an episode of Power Rangers Zeo. Yes, I like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I have been doing a little bit more thinking about the issue with what the U.S. states of North Carolina and Mississippi have done, with respect to the transgender and shoving it up the asses of people who are transgendered and people who are lesbian, gay, and bisexual. And essentially, as I see it, an unintended consequence of their actions, their legislative actions, they've also said it's openly okay to discriminate against 20% of all persons on the autism spectrum, because it is estimated that there are 1 out of every 5 autistic adults is a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgendered. And so it's a higher percentage than in the general population. So essentially, hatred against LGBT people is spilling over into hatred of persons like myself who are on the autism spectrum. And the way I see it, it is not right at all. Any form of discrimination, even discriminating against people with disabilities, is wrong. And of course, I apologize for my being rather offensive with 2 or 3 video weblogs ago, using the very offensive, accurate language, about how that if you were to decide to discriminate against one group, you're discriminating against everybody. These are just simply major big pet peeves of mine, because I myself, as a person who never got diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum in childhood and all through early adulthood into my late 40s, that I experienced a lot of bias and discrimination, which I never really I'm looking 20/20 hindsight, that a lot of the people with, and a lot of employers were literally, very nasty, very mean to me, Was it, was it even though I was trying exceptionally hard to take and try and pass for normal as a adult with mild autism, which is called, Asperger's syndrome, and mild cerebral palsy. And of course, we still have a lot of, disableism, hate crime here in the United States. And for the most part, this hate crimes against disabled children and disabled adults. Most for the 90% of the time go totally unreported to civilian law enforcement authorities. And essentially perpetrators of hate crimes against the disabled pretty much are hardly ever prosecuted. And they essentially can do whatever they darn well please, with no legal or criminal justice system consequences whatsoever. And this is even though it is now almost 26 and a half years, 25 and a half years, almost 26 years since the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act. All the ADA has done is only make a change on granted disabled people like me civil rights, but totally only on paper. A piece of paper does not change people's attitudes towards adults and children with disabilities. I, of course, know here locally, in the next town over, in the town of Windham, New Hampshire, a state representative, who told me to take and go kill myself, to commit suicide so the government does not have to, support or assist me, and I expected it from a guy like that, that the guy was is a social Darwinist. He hates disabled people. He thinks that disabled people are totally unworthy of life, and the people, the electorate in the town of Windham, New Hampshire, the next town over from where I live in Salem here, they love him because he is a Tea Partier, and he doesn't believe that the government should have any say about about anything except to have the government ram the fundamentalist Christianity down everybody's throats at gunpoint. Anyways, I'm having a rather quiet Saturday here today. And yes, Moogie Moo Moo, I had to buy more diapers. Moogie Moo Moo. that is one of my friends. It seems so stupid to like plush cuddlies like Moogie Moo Moo, but yes, I got this one from Build-A-Bear. But I'm sorry, I lost the pants and undies for him. I have to go to Build-A-Bear and get another pair with it, combat pants and a pair of underpants for the Moogie Moo Moo. And of course with it the Moogie Moo Moo, Moogie Moo Moo. Well, not much else to say tonight.